Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news as North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum announces 7 additional cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in the state to 26. Governor Burgum also noted that there is another case of community spread. In the governor's news conference this afternoon, he stressed the issue of slowing the rate of transmission across the state.
Working this problem in 2 ways. If the goal is to save lives, there's 2 things we're doing. One is all the social distancing policies, which slow the rate of transmission. And on the other side, we've got task force working very hard about what do we do to make sure that we've got enough beds, enough personnel, enough ventilators, enough equipment to be able to handle the crunch.
So far, 938 North Dakotans have now been tested for COVID-19. 60 people are currently being monitored for symptoms. Again, state officials have confirmed 26 positive cases in North Dakota, and currently there are 2 people who are now hospitalized. For more information on schools and closings and a full list of online services for North Dakota residents, head over to our VNL News app. State health officials in Minnesota announced today that the number of positive COVID-19 cases there has reached 115. That's 26 more cases since yesterday. Health officials say nearly 4,000 people have been tested in the state. In a news conference, Governor Tim Walz weighed in on the activation of the president's Defense Production Act.
I am pleased in the last hour or so with the president's activation of the Defense Production Act. Should give us some relief in that, but we simply can't wait for that. So I'm here to tell you, and I want to make note of this, that Minnesotans and Minnesota companies that are stepping up to fill that gap, for all of you who are listening, the Defense Production Act simply gives the president basically wartime authority to convert civilian factories over to wartime needs.
Governor Walz has signed 3 executive orders that he says further strengthens the state's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The first executive order prohibits price gouging during the peacetime emergency. The second order authorizes the state health department to seek federal help to waive or temporarily modify certain requirements for federal programs. And the third executive order allows the health department to temporarily issue waivers or modifications to make sure that all Minnesotans can still get the services they need. All 3 orders will need to be approved by the Executive Council. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced that all non-essential traffic in in America's northern and southern borders will be restricted at this time because of the pandemic. The State Department issued a level 4 global travel advisory to warn Americans that all international travel should be avoided at this time.
I also want to announce today that the United States and Mexico have agreed to restrict non-essential travel across our shared border. Both our countries know the importance of working together to limit the spread of the virus and ensure that commerce that supports our economy continues to keep flowing.
Pompeo also urged all Americans to be careful about how they see and interpret misinformation about the virus. More cold weather today, but some good news on the horizon because we're expecting some improvements in the days to come. Let's get the latest from Hutch in your First Alert Storm Team Center. Hutch?
Yeah, we have a lot less wind than we saw yesterday across the valley and a lot of sunshine, but certainly has been a very chilly day. Taking a look at the satellite, most of us remain clear. The temperatures are on the chilly side, but the wind not as strong. We're starting to see a return, though, in our far western counties and out near the state capital, Bismarck, from the south. Those south winds will start ushering in some warmer weather for the weekend. But tonight, we'll see temperatures that are in the teens and 20s slip down once again to very chilly levels. Here's Fargo's planner for this evening. If you're out and about, single-digit readings with wind chills that'll be near or just below 0. As we go through the overnight, it's going to be another chilly one in Grand Forks as well. Sub-0 readings as we go through the overnight. So another cold one to start the weekend, but we do have a warming trend to talk about. That's going to come, Andrew, with a few growing pains. I'll have details on who may see flakes as we go into our weekend here in a minute.
Yes, it always seems to come with some growing pains, right?
It does, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Hutch. The Fargo Police Department is alerting the community to a high-risk sex offender moving into the metro. 32-year-old Jesse Yonke is now living at 726 College Street North. That is close to NDSU. He was convicted in 2016 of patronizing a minor for sexual activity when he tried to have sexual contact with a police officer posing as a 16-year-old girl online. The Fargo Police Department is taking even more steps to make sure it's not spreading any potential viruses in the community. The department says after every shift and after someone is hauled in a police car, the vehicle is completely wiped down. Police say they also have 2 special units dedicated to transporting people who may have been exposed to COVID-19. Hope may be on its way for many Americans going through this tough time. Right now, there are over 260,000 cases of COVID-19 worldwide, but there may be a type of drug to fix it. Valley News Team's Kelly Hubbard breaks it down for us.
You have a lot of people that are in big trouble.
Word on the street is that hydrochloroquine may be the answer.
We have millions of units ordered, and we're going to see what happens.
It's a strong drug that's been prescribed for many years. It's known to treat malaria and severe arthritis. Chloroquine is also used in aquariums to kill some organisms like algae that may harm fish and other aquatic animals. Prices for chloroquine have gone through the roof online. The price that was once $9.99 is up to $500 on eBay.
We're going to be talking to the governors about it, and the FDA is working on it right now.
President Donald Trump stating that it would be a game changer, but not a promise.
It's early, but I've seen things that are impressive, and we'll see. We're going to know soon.
In Fargo, Kelly Hubbard, Valley News Live.
To learn more about what the drug is used for, you can visit our Valley News Live app. A group of senators and Trump administration officials convened on Capitol Hill today. The group, led by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, is on a fast track to pass a bill that would help mitigate the economy in the time of the coronavirus pandemic. Among those in the meeting and work sessions to follow, Republican Senators Marco Rubio and Susan Collins, Democratic Senators Dick Durbin and Debbie Stabenow, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin.
There are several things that must be in the bill. You all heard about the terrible problem our hospitals are having. We need a Marshall Plan for hospitals. This bill hardly gives hospitals any money at all. We need a full unemployment insurance so that when you're laid off, you get paid your full salary, you can get on unemployment quickly, and it's not just a one-time payment.
Senator McConnell has set a deadline of midnight while Senate Democrats dig in on what they say must be in the bill. Tax day is being moved to July 15th. Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin made the announcement on Twitter this morning. Americans now have 3 more months to send in their tax returns. The secretary said in his tweet at the president's direction, all taxpayers will have this additional time to file and make payments without interest or penalties. Mnuchin also said in a separate tweet, I encourage all taxpayers who may have tax refunds to file now and get your money. News of the coronavirus has buzzed into the spelling bee world. The Scripps National Spelling Bee is suspending this year's national finals as a result of COVID-19. Scripps posted an update about the event on its website today, citing recommendations against large gatherings by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Scripps said it will work to reschedule the event later this year, if possible. The 93rd Scripps National Spelling Bee was scheduled to be held in National Harbor, Maryland. In the midst of everything going on in our world right now, we wanted to share a bit of positive news to get you into your weekend. The New York Post reports that China has closed all 16 temporary coronavirus hospitals in Wuhan because they don't have enough cases to support them. And Business Insider says Apple has reopened all 42 of its retail stores in China. News 5 in Cleveland, Ohio says Metro Health Medical Center is the first hospital in the state that can now test COVID-19 samples at its lab, with results available in just 2 hours as opposed to a couple of days. And one more for you. NBC News reports that many companies are working on vaccines. Experts say there are 3 that are closest to being tested, approved, and available to the U.S. public. With restaurants shut down, confusion is setting in about food delivery and whether it's safe. Some things you can do still ahead.